Hey, Robbie, how we doing?
Hey, buddy, how you doing? Give me 1 second here. I've got Justin and Sue here with me. I've got you pulled up on the TV so they can see you. So I'm gonna step away for just a second, but Sue and Justin are right here, and they can hear you.
All right. So I won't say anything bad about Sue and Justin then.
All right.
Go ahead, we don't care.
How you guys doing today? Sorry, I'm a little late. It's been kind of a crazy afternoon for me here.
Not a problem.
All right. Let me just grab everything for us here.
The old guys on board. Yeah. You're okay. I'm all for that. So I discussed that as well.
Just let me know when you guys are settled and ready to roll.
We're ready to rock.
We're ready to rock and roll. Robbie will
Oh.
be right back. I've seen this before. He and I were at the Davis Ware Conference
Okay,
in
perfect.
Chicago.
Great. Great. So you guys are still, that is still the plan. You guys are switching from WinTAC to the S2K or SK1 WinTAC version?
I have no idea at this point.
Okay, very good, very good. So, all right, then let's just kind of jump into it here. We'll really go ahead and take a look at our full app. I don't have any kind of demo account yet from Davis Ware or from WinTech at this point. So we're just going to have to kind of look at our standalone app. Really think it's going to be cool is once you guys get connected, once everything gets done, it's going to be really neat. Once you guys dispatch, you go to do price book, it's going to seamlessly jump in our app. So everything we see as far as pricing today will be exactly how you guys are going to see it in the Davis Ware app. And then once we go back to doing the invoice, once we add everything to the invoice, go to get them to pay, it's going to roll right back into your SW1 app, and then you guys are going to do all your billing, all that from there. So it's going to be really cool when everything gets going here. Again, I wish I had a live demo to show you exactly what it's going to do, but something that should be up and running here by the end of the year as well. Before I jump into it too far, though, I just want to check in, see if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you're interested in seeing, something you guys are anticipating today, just kind of make sure we can focus and hit that stuff for you guys.
What was the upgrade that you were talking about with WinTech and the SK1? Is that an upgrade, or is that, what is that?
Davis Ware, purchased WinTech. It must have been here in the spring, and basically they're going to be migrating the WinTech customers into what their, I believe it's SK1 program is called. So basically they're just going to take those people and migrate them to a different product. I don't know financials, if Davis Ware is going to raise the price or do that with you guys there. That's something to reach out with them about. But basically, again, they're going to roll WinTech into this SK1 program.
And as far as the compatibility, it's not going to have a whole lot of downtime or lag or anything like that, correct?
It shouldn't. Again, I haven't seen the live product yet. It's still in development, with our development team and their development team, but it really shouldn't. We have some in-app integrated stuff already with our app, and it's really pretty seamless, so I'm assuming that's going to be the other way. So again, it should be 100%. I don't want to open my mouth and stick my foot in it because I haven't seen it yet, but I can't believe we'd release a functionality that would be, cumbersome like that for you guys.
And Joseph, you said that is going to be third quarter?
I would think it will. We just started the fourth quarter this week, so I'm assuming it's going to be by the end of the year here. I know the build is getting close to done. They're going to start betaing soon here with customers, so it is going to be the near future. But again, to be clear about it, it's not something that is live currently.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Anything else, guys, before we jump into it here?
No.
Awesome. All right, and I assume you guys can see my screen okay, the agenda on one side, Profit Rhino on the other here?
Yes.
Perfect. So we're going to pull the iPad right up on the screen first thing and really kind of take a look and see how you guys are going to see it. in the field with your customers. And again, I don't have the integration live with Wintech, so we're going to have to use our imaginations just a touch today. Not very much at all, though. What you see here is my iPad. Any old iPad works, just mirrored up to the screen here. I'm going to jump inside our app here. Let me just open this up so we can see a little better. I'm trying to click my mouse on the screen instead of touch my iPad. It doesn't work very well.
So when the customer sees this, will they actually see Profit Rhino?
They will not. What's going to happen when you're logging in, you'll actually never even use our app. You'll have your own Davis Ware Wintech app that'll be here. You're going to do your dispatch, all that through there. Once you've dispatched the job, you've put on your trip charge, your diagnosis fee, whatever it may be, and you guys go to the invoice. When you hit the invoice button, you guys are going to jump right to here inside of Profit Rhino. It's going to be kind of a seamless jump. Going to go right in here. You're going to see our pricing information, our sales platform, and once we've made the sale and we hit go to invoice, when we go to the invoice to invoice the customer, it's going to migrate you back into their app, and you're going to do all the invoicing, billing, all the back-end stuff through there, so that's going to flow into your QuickBooks and do all your back-end accounting. So really, we're just going to kind of jump in, do your pricing, your sales presentation, and then send everything back to Davis. Does that make sense, guys?
So if we want to make a pricing adjustment, we have to go through you?
And if you're going to make a pricing adjustment, all the adjustments are going to be done inside of Profit Rhino. Absolutely. All you have to do is put them in and save them, and then that stuff goes live into Davis Ware. So it will be like an API, so it'll be an instant connection. So again, you can change that stuff now while you guys are eating lunch, at 12:05, whatever those guys are charging those new prices, looking at those new pictures, etc. Good stuff. Anything else, guys, before we kind of roll in here?
Good.
Roll.
We can roll.
We can roll. All right, perfect. So again, we kind of talked about it. Once you guys go through there and do your pricing information, you're going to jump into the price book. This is the screen you're going to hit. As you guys may or may not know, images are our big thing here. We do have over 3,300 custom images in the book now, all of which can be updated, changed, unlimited new images added by you guys as well. The other big thing here is the view. Obviously, you guys are doing HVAC stuff. Are you doing any plumbing, electrical, any of that stuff besides just a little bit with your installs, disconnects, and stuff?
All of the above.
All of the above.
You're doing all of the above. Perfect. So we'll leave everything
along with solar.
along solar. Perfect. So we will leave everything here. You guys can also customize this order. So if plumbing is 95% of your business, we can make plumbing number one. Again, you guys can set it up whatever you think is going to be the easiest for your techs. If we jump in any of these books, they're all set up the same to ask 2 or 3 quick questions to try and get you from knowing you're doing a heating or a plumbing job to knowing that you're doing a fixture or a blower motor, whatever it may be here. So we'll kind of walk through that right now. Do you guys have any preference what we jump in? Heating, plumbing, air conditioning?
We can jump into, I want to do AC or installs.
I see. Well, let's do AC first. Installs is a little bit of a different animal, but we'll definitely hit it here. So if we go into AC, first question is, what are we doing here? We have your heat pump, your refrigeration, your IAQ, and then your thermostats. We jump into heat pump, refrigeration, then what are we doing here? Are we working on blowers, EVAPs, condensers? I'm sorry, is there a question?
Oh, no.
Nope, sorry. I'm getting a little feedback on the line, so sorry about that, guys, if I stopped inadvertently there. No worries. So again, the point is to start at the top of the funnel, get to the bottom really as quickly as we can. If we jump in the blower compartment, this is where you can see the images take over. If you guys need wheels, belt drives, direct drives, belts, ECMs, brackets, here's your sequencers, all this stuff, super easy for the guys to find here with the images. The other big thing you'll find with our book is the 2 levels of pricing really following us everywhere. I assume, as big as you guys are, you're doing some kind of planned maintenance, service agreement program, something along those lines. And probably if you're like 95% of the people I talk to, you wish you sold more of them. What we're trying to do is get the customer to start this conversation. We know from being in sales that if a customer asks us about something, you have a way better chance of actually making that sale than of you giving a hard sales pitch to a customer and trying to bring them to the table. So we're going to put this at every single spot we can and trying to get Mrs. Jones to ask us, how do I save $92? That's when we jump in and say, well, that's a great question. Let me tell you how you can save with our wonderful planned maintenance program. And again, we're going to have a better chance of selling those if we can get the customer to start that conversation. So you guys will really see that stuff kind of follow us everywhere. If we jump inside of here, first thing you notice is obviously the image. Anytime we touch an image, it'll go full screen. Also, you guys can put your own images. As you can see, I got one I left here. We got a nice Rhino sitting in the blower motor as well. To the right here, guys, we're always going to have what we call a tech description on top. Obviously, we need something to let the tech know what he's getting. Make sure he's not getting a direct drive, an ECM, a 3/4 horse, whatever it may be. Second line will always be any other further instructions that the tech needs. If this already includes the belts, capacitors, it'll say that in this line, so he's not trying to upsell those things as well. And then down below, folks, is what we call the customer description, and it's always going to be just that. What this is, what it does, why it can wear out. If it has aesthetics, it'll talk about the look, the finish, that kind of stuff. 2 levels of pricing we talked about currently all the time here, so you're going to see it everywhere. And then probably the biggest thing we're going to see here is this MPT. And really, this stands for minutes per task. And you see we have 90 minutes assigned to this. What this is doing is, even though we're a flat rate book, and you guys know flat rate, you understand this already, I'm sure, but every job has a time assigned to it. We have an hourly bill out rate in the back, and then here we have a button for parts, and we have a standard chart where we're marking up the parts, and we're truly still doing a time and material markup. We're just pushing those numbers out to the tablet as a flat rate. So this is where we can kind of adjust this time up or down to change this particular task without changing the price of everything in the air conditioning book. Also great to keep in mind that we do have a little bit of extra time built in all these tasks for you guys, for your sales, your service, your setup, that kind of stuff, so you're actually paid for your customer-facing time, not just the wrench time. Always like to kind of use this as a real quick pause, guys, just see if you have any questions, comments, concerns so far.
What's the P3 next to the minutes per task?
Great question. That stands for priority level 3. And basically what these jobs are, every job has a task and an add-on. So we could make this an add-on, which we're taking that extra time for the sales to service away. Normally we're going to put the most expensive part on with the extra time, and then the other stuff we're going to add, we're not going to put that additional time in. The P3 is letting us know what jobs are going to take priority. So the first P3 job you put on will be full price. Anything P2 or P1 you put on will go in at that add-on price. So you guys can kind of set it up to make sure that you're always putting the priority tasks are the ones that are getting charged as tasks, not add-ons, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Great.
So just kind of a little way we can clean it up in the back end and take a little tiny bit off your plate. So next thing I want to show you guys here is some of the sales tools we built in. That's the reason you guys came to see us, is our presentation, the way we can do sales and raise your average ticket. First thing here is if we hit view recommended, this will also work when you adding something to an invoice as well. You're always going to get what we call recommended services. And guys, I always like to say this is the Amazon selling method. You guys know if you go there, it says, hey, people who bought this also bought this, this, and this. We're going to do the same thing. Mrs. Jones normally replaced the belt, the filter, the capacitor, the contactor, whatever you guys want to do. Also, you'll notice this task starts with an A. This one starts with a T. This is where we're going to kind of see that priority. If we use this toggle here, we can change this from a regular task to an add-on. What we're doing when we make an add-on is just removing that extra time. This also, though, becomes a very powerful sales tool. You can go to Mrs. Jones and say, we really should replace the belt today. But normally, if I have to come out and do it, it's going to be $244. Since I'm already standing here today, they'll let me do it for $124. The power of the customer seeing $120 fall off that is pretty hard to beat, and really a good way to help sell some of those extra things. Of course, you guys get full control what comes up here and what the discounts are. Simply, we just kind of have it set up for display purposes here. And then the next one, I'm actually going to jump in the thermostat section just because there's not really a good way to show you guys there. And the next one we have here is common alternatives. And anytime we have different levels of products we can try and upsell to the customer, we definitely want to let them know, especially if it's more expensive stuff. So this is a really great example. Nothing wrong with the old Buckeye thermostat. Heat's going to come on, the air is going to come on, but you'd surely rather sell them one of these, get them into a Nest, something you guys are going to make more profit on. So all your tech has to do is simply slide it to the bottom. And Mrs. Jones, we also have some of these nice options available. All you do is touch one. We can go in. We can look at the image, the description, the diagrams, all that stuff. So it's just kind of meant to really take some of the salesmanship away from the tech, put it on the tablet, make it as easy as possible for them to do, so they'll actually do it when they're out there in the field here. So Again, just want to run in for a quick pause here, see if there's any questions you guys have on any of this stuff. If not, we're going to kind of walk it through a field scenario.
Is there a way to, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Is there a way to actually try to bundle this and show a customer more of a proposal style? Where you could stack your add-ons and then you can do your takeaways?
Absolutely. And we're gonna hit that here in just a minute. But yes, we do options. We can do good, better, best pricing. We can do anywhere from 2 to 6 options for any repair or new equipment replacement. Perfect. So let's run it out here. And so I'm going to jump in here, and I am going to just assign a customer. You guys won't have to do this. This is going to be inside of Davisware, but I can't go on any further without assigning a customer here. So let's quick put my guy Eli in here. So what's going to happen with you guys, once you go through, you're doing your dispatch, your diagnosis fees, that stuff with your customer. Once you hit go to invoice or make a quote, that's when you're going to jump in and see the Profit Rhino. I'm not sure if you guys will do the diagnosis inside of Davisware or inside of Profit Rhino. I'll show it to you just in case you're going to do it here. But we can just add your diagnosis fee. We can do as many or as few as you want, and then we get a signature here to kind of claim it. Again, I'm fuzzy whether this part is going to be in Davisware for you guys or not. After this, we're 100% coming in to Profit Rhino from Davisware. At this point, after you do the diagnosis, this is where we kind of want to, offer them options on the repair. And what we can do then, guys, is go to this 1, 2, 3. And what this is going to do is we can actually build this option extremely specific to this job. If it's kind of something funky, we can make this extremely custom. If it's just your standard, say, blower motor repair, we can just go to a pre-built one, jump right into heating, belt drive blower motor repair, open it. And again, just like you asked, we have these pre-built options. All they have to do now is present and show. Good being just the motor, better includes the belt, best has a pulley and a pull and clean here. You do have the option to go ahead and do a summary of findings here. Obviously, you can type it. If your tablets are capable, voice to text will work as well. Always make sure you read it before you show it to the customer, especially if you're doing duct work. That can get a little hairy. And then I'm not sure if you guys saw there, if we jump to this eyeball now, this is where we're going to be able to present this quote to the customer. First page you see here is pretty plain, just kind of a summary of what we're doing. You're going to have all your logo, your information. We're going to hit them with the service agreement savings, the bundle savings, all that stuff to try and get them to climb this ladder into our more expensive options. And then if we go to the subsequent page, it's actually going to include the image and description for each individual item included with each option. So again, really a nice custom invoice. This can be printed or emailed directly from the tablet to the customer here as well. Also, it's saved to our cloud. It will migrate into Davisware, so you guys can access that through your Davisware systems as well. After we're done, they're going to make a choice here. Eli's got the cash. He's going to take the number 1. Jump back to the quote book here, and then we can kind of talk a little bit about the money. We can set the taxes. We can make it tax exempt. We can apply discounts if we want and do all that stuff here. Then also finance is something we didn't talk about. I assume you guys are doing some sort of third-party financing with new equipment installs or large service jobs?
Yeah.
Perfect. Green Sky, Wells Fargo, Pacer, whoever it is, they all give you a landing page for your customers to apply for that finance. We kind of take that a step further. We're going to take that landing page. We're going to put it in the web portal. So all you have to do is touch that finance button. It's going to jump right to your payment provider and allow your customer to apply for the finance, be approved for the finance, and sign off for that job, all while you're standing in their living room. Really going to almost let these people impulse buy some of the new systems and some of these big jobs. So really cool stuff there. And that can be set up to only show up for new equipment, only show up on service jobs over 2,500, over 3,000. So you guys can set that to only kind of show up where you want. Over here, again, we're looking at the 2 levels of pricing. Simply touch it to go ahead and change that. If we want to add a service agreement, again, we're going to find it in our hotkey here. Just jump in and we can add those real easy. Get that on there for the customer. And then we're going to collect this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Hey, with that that link to the finance, are we able to put more than one finance company if we use like Wells, Pacer, and Red Brick and Synchrony?
Unfortunately, at this time, we're not. You're actually the 3rd person to ask me that this month, and it's only the 3rd. So that's something that's got to be put into dev and get worked on. But absolutely, because it seems everybody has 2 or 3 of these guys now that they're using. So we need to kind of find a way to do it. Just tricky making sure to get the right ones in the right spots. But like I said, something I'm all of a sudden hearing a lot in the last few days. So everything we're looking at came from somebody asking a question just like that. So short answer now is going to be no, but definitely that's something we got to look into.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No,
Is there
perfect.
also,
One more?
when you're building, say, like the blower motor, some of these blower motors, we actually have to go to the manufacturer and pick up. Is there a way to do an add-on, for, say, drive time, for pickup?
Or is that accounted for already?
No, absolutely not. If we have to get a special part, we actually can jump here in our miscellaneous section, and I think it's in labor and parts, and then we have pre-built line items we can put right in here. For special order parts, or if you have to go and get a part, we can go ahead and put a little bit of that labor time and have that there for you guys. So definitely.
Damn, y'all, you didn't miss anything, huh?
We try not to. Also, just real quick while we're here, demo miscellaneous fees. You guys are going to run into this stuff. You got to move a wall, record a camera, dig a trench, remove scrap, rent equipment. Again, we have line items. We have tasks for all that stuff, so we can itemize that stuff for the customer.
So, you go by Joseph, Joey, or Joe?
I like any of them.
All right.
Hey, Joe, another question just from the field side, in the accounting. So how many of your companies that you work with end up taking their hourly employees off of the hourly 8-hour clock and actually start paying them on this flat rate? And is there an accounting feature in here that will double check for our accounting and for our technicians to keep track of how many hours they're actually working? Because, you know, you always got kind of that slow poke out there that'll milk you for 10 hours on a 3-hour job. And this way, you know, they get paid. It could go in their favor more than our favor, and that would be kind of the hope, because that means that they would be able to make more money for the company.
Absolutely. And I actually hear that a lot, and I'll be honest, it's probably 50-50 of what they do. But a lot of people will go through, in these task times, we can definitely run these up at the end of the day, and we'll see that in the web portal. We can go right in and see every invoice every time this guy ran for the day, the week. A lot of people will pay him on this. If you know what, if you do 50 hours worth of work and 40 hours in the week, we'll pay you for 50 hours.
Huh. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yep.
So we can do that, and that kind of takes that away. And that's weird coming from Time Material, because that lazy tech and Time Material was probably your most profitable tech, because he brought in the most money, you know, to do those jobs. Where a really good tech who can do a blower motor in 40 minutes, where your other guy takes 90, he's losing you money in the field. You know what I'm saying? Because he can run through this stuff so quick. He's got to run so many jobs. So short answer, we can definitely pull those reports and do that way. We can also set it up just so they get a little bit of commission per job. You know, if you run through 4 jobs, 5 jobs, you know, we'll put a little this extra in here. If you get so many things off the upsell cross-sell screens, you know, we can incentivize you a little there. So when we jump in the web portal, I'm putting it on my list here, we'll hit that a little bit more. But absolutely, you can really go through the end of the day and see, you know, this guy had, you know, 9 hours worth of tasks. He completed it in 8 hours today, so, you know, he did well. We can also,
I like that.
He had 9 hours of tasks, and he started at 8 o'clock. It's 9:30, and he's still out there and, you know, figure out what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think about that feature, so that's very cool.
That's cool. And just something else, we jump back here, and just so you know where they have it here, if we look at this work order, you see the little clock right there? All he's got to do is touch that, and it's going to tell him, I got 215 minutes to get this job done and get to the next one.
That's great. I've worked with Service Titan, and that's definitely a feature that Service Titan does not have for you, and we would have to go through and write it all out on a scratch pad to be able to see how many hours we had the job, so we could beat the clock, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and now you hit it here, and I mean, I would suggest printing out and laminating a bunch of minute charts for your techs. Let's be honest, people are bad at math sometimes, so they can translate this and know that, you know, they're looking at 3 hours, 45 minutes. But again, you know, all they have to do is touch that. There's no excuse that they shouldn't know there. And also, if we jump to the invoice here, we actually just changed the invoice. I don't know if it's still there or not. I might be sticking my foot in my mouth. It's not. They took it off. It used to be printed on the bottom of the invoice, but we just changed the invoice. I don't see it here anymore. I think we removed that because customers were asking about it, but you'll be able to pull it in through the web portal. But super easy for them to see, really no excuse not to know how much time you're supposed to be on that job, and that's all you have to do there. And that has your diagnosis fee. It actually puts, there's no time in here for your service agreement. So it has your diagnosis, everything here. He should be out the door in 215 minutes from the time he knocks to the time he drives away. Cool stuff.
Okay.
All right. So last thing here, just to kind of move on, once everything's done, we get another signature here. So we do end up with the 3 signatures. This is really where you guys are then going to migrate back into DavisWare and take your payments, do your invoicing, all that stuff here. Just to give you a heads up how I expect that integration seamlessly to flow is right now we're integrated with a sister company of ours. This is exactly how the integration is going to work. You can see here, I just hit take payment. Don't tell Trump I said that. I'll be in trouble. So just one button you can see here. We jump in the PaySimple app, swipe it, take the payment, and it seamlessly jumps us right back into the Profit Rhino app. That's exactly how your connection is going to be. You're just going to seamlessly move between one and the other. Your guys don't have to push buttons. It's all going to kind of happen by itself there. So just kind of a preview what that should look like as far as the integration when we have it live for you guys here. And then when you guys are done, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, when you're taking that payment, are you using an online service for that? Or how do I say it? Do you use a particular company for that?
We use PaySimple simply because PaySimple is under the same corporate umbrella as us, so it makes a lot of sense to integrate them in here. You guys, if you're sticking with DavisWare WinTech, you're going to, at this point, be migrated back into their app and take the payment there. But with our standalone, you can still take it with your Squares, your PayPals, your Pazers. All you have to do is open their app, swipe it, just come back in and mark it paid. So it's very simple to do either way. PaySimple, again, being under the same corporate umbrella, is the only one we have integrated in the app.
Okay, just curious. Thank you.
No, great questions, guys. And then lastly, when we're done here, again, this is not really something you guys are going to see here. I'm just going to kind of show it to you. You're not going to do this. But once we hit email and save, this pops up. Email the invoice directly from the tablet right to the customer, also saved to the office. And then just so you guys are aware, I kind of gave you a sneak peek. This is what we're going to see from the final invoice. We're going to get a repeat of these options. We're going to highlight the one they chose on the invoice. You'll see it up here. And then we get here, again, logo information, service address, billing address, date, tech, images, descriptions for everything here. This open spot, we can put a PDF in. So if you guys want to advertise your furnace tune-ups or your AC cleanouts or whatever it's going to be, we can put advertisements, coupons right here too. Of course, we're going to always highlight the discounts, signatures transfer, and then down below here is any kind of acknowledgments or addendums that you guys have. Again, it's all customizable. We can change the blue to whatever matches your marketing there.
Very cool.
Really cool. So, all right, guys, what else? One thing I don't want to skip before we go to the web portal is installs. Somebody brought that up. I didn't write down the name. Basically, inside of our install book here, everything is really set up for you guys. It's just generically branded and something we're going to customize with you guys when you take off with us here. But the first thing you see here, these are complete home comfort systems. Everything is done by SEER and then by tonnage. And if we come in here and look at the parts, you can see this is your whip, your thermostats, your pad work, running the PVC, the sheet metal modification. It's all in here. So these are really complete systems. And then, of course, we can jump in here and do everything by piecemeal. We can do just condensers, just evap coils. We do have mini splits. We have boilers for you guys. We put in a full second book. Most people sell at least 2 levels of equipment. If you guys have 3 or 4, we can just copy and paste the C, D, E, F in. Not a problem. And then at the bottom, you'll find your IAQ stuff, your water heaters, your thermostats, and then miscellaneous repairs. This is just going to be your disconnects and then your condensate pumps. It's kind of all stuff here. So again, it's kind of generically branded, but keep in mind, this is something we'll go through with you guys when you go with us. And if you're Carrier dealers, we'll get pictures of the Carrier equipment. We'll change brand A to Carrier, and again, make it a complete branded book for you guys. Just for obvious reasons, we don't do that until you guys sign up. So just kind of a heads up there. Again, just do a quick pause. Anything else you guys want to see in this book before we kind of jump to the web portal?
Can you get into plumbing just a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So plumbing, again, kind of set up the same way as the other book. Just a few quick questions to get what we need to get. First page is what part of the house. your kitchen, your bath, your laundry, your line work is down here. We do have a pool book if you guys do any pool works. And again, you'll find some water quality stuff here. Commercial guys, don't get too excited. This is really going to have nothing more than urinals, water fountains, handicap rails. Your
Okay,
most
do you have you have backflows in there anywhere?
backflows.
Uh-huh.
Let's give it a search.
We
I'll
do
be honest,
backflows.
guys. I'm not a plumber, so sometimes you guys stump me with some of these
I'm
questions.
not either. Trust me, I call plumbers when I have a problem.
So yep, looks like here's all your backflow preventers.
Right there.
Underneath.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm just curious.
No, great questions, guys. I love when you guys have good questions. Nothing worse than having to keep checking in to make sure you're still breathing on the other end of the lines. So, but again, just take a quick walkthrough. Bath. You walk in the bathroom, you're going to do, a sink or a basin, some kind of fixture, the Johnny. So we have new and used of each here, plus the connections. Really, this is your plumbing, your fixtures. This is where the sales tools really come in great. Customers love to see pictures of these fixtures, and I always like to do this lab faucet good. We can see the picture, we can see the nicer faucets below, and then again, if we add this guy to the work order, we're always gonna, yes, we'll get our pop-ups. So we have our shut-off and our pop-up. All this stuff, you're gonna find all the common sense stuff is done for you guys. You just have to kind of go through and really, make it your own. But it's really gonna look just the same as you guys go through here, and we can jump in the toilets. And again, we have we have toilets, we have bidets, we have the heated seats, all the fun stuff in here for you guys to deal with.
Very nice.
Cool, good stuff, guys. Anything else you guys want to see before we jump in the web portal?
Can I just ask another question on the install portion?
Absolutely.
How are those prices figured? Do we provide you with like what our tote cost is and what's included in our thermostats to build that pricing? How does that work?
Exactly, and let's talk about that just a little bit more here. This is what we call our flat rate success program. If you guys decide to go with Profit Rhino, for lack of a better word, this is a hand-holding process between us and you to make this book, again, a customized, cool blue book, not the same that everybody's got. You can see we have an entire week dedicated to nothing but that, and that's exactly right. Geographically, you guys are going to do them different than we do in the Northeast, so we just have to make sure we have the right parts. We'll get those prices from your distributors, make sure they're correct, get the correct images and branding. So that is exactly what's going to happen here. And again, you can see we actually have an entire week, sometimes more if needed, to to get those straight away. Because let's face it, that's one of the most important pieces for you guys. And with our selling tool, it really makes it a powerful, nice way for you guys to present different options and sell that stuff. So we're really big on getting that stuff right. As you can see, we literally spend half the time just doing new equipment as opposed to all the other books. So.
Okay, and Joe, do we do this like a conference call or just emails, or are you guys here on site? You're not here on site.
We are not. We're going to do all these meetings via Zoom, just like we're on today. So,
Okay.
Whatever we need to do, we'll go through this. And also, just while we're hitting this, guys, I don't like to leave the impression with people that this is something that is really kind of turnkey. You guys aren't going to have to put in, not even a dozen hours, hundreds of hours, not that kind of time, but we do need some assistance with you guys to make sure this is right. So I always like to really put that on the table, that you guys are necessary for the support program, and and you guys are needed here. So there's a little work. I like to call it homework in between the meetings for you guys, but I always like to be really clear about that. Because some people just expect it to be done, and unfortunately we're not mind readers,
How's that possible?
Now, so I know you guys were there with us over at that user conference, and we had dispatch.me there. So if, let's say, Wintac and Davisware don't move forward as quick as we need them to working with dispatch.me, they have an open API. Is that something that we could work with as well if we choose to go with dispatch.me for a dispatch company?
Yeah, if they have an open API, they'll take an import. We can absolutely do it. I'll give you guys a little quick heads up here if we want to jump in here. I'm going to jump into Mr. Eli View as history. And what you guys are looking at are the foundations of our own dispatch program. We're actually hoping to have it live on Monday. We hit a few hiccups in the development, so we're a little bit behind. But very soon, you'll be able to actually dispatch right through Profit Rhino. You'll go to the guy's tablet. All he's going to have to do is touch Maps coming soon. He's going to get Google Maps directions right to his job, and then the service addresses and next jobs will be reached over here. Once he gets there, he can just create the work order and start. You'll be able to see customer histories, all this here. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but
Right.
at the end of the month, we are really going to be able to take you guys from the time that phone call comes in. We can do the invoicing, do the back end stuff, get it to QuickBooks. Our whole goal is to become FSM, Service Titan Lite, maybe is a good way to put it. But we're going to really, our
Good
goal
goal.
is to be able to take you guys from step A all the way to step Z and not have to use 2 apps, not have to integrate different stuff and have all these different fees going on. Put it all in one place and make it easy for you.
No, and the cool thing, I mean, with the whole reason with the Davis Ware Dispatch Me is they're telling us third quarter, this year, and then they turned around and said first quarter next year, and we're hoping, but we got to be live with this thing by March to match up with Ingersoll Rand, Rude, American Home Shield, and OneGuard on this Dispatch Me program, and that's where we don't have to pay for the Dispatch Me program because they're going to support, they're going to provide it for us to use that program. And if Davis Ware doesn't connect with them in the time that we need, we might be forced to jump ship. But because of the Dispatch Me relationship that we have between us and the other companies that are utilizing it, we might have an in there, and that's our default, if we have to. But this is something definitely interesting, but I don't want to say yay or nay on it, but it's good to know.
Sure, no,
for the dispatch portion.
It absolutely. And really, when it comes down to the dispatch, all you guys have to do, if you want to dispatch or dispatch me, is you dispatch the guys out to the tablet. All the information's in here. When these guys go to assign a customer, I can't take them off because we're in an invoice, but all you have to do is put in the customer name. He'll pull the invoice, the work order, everything from here. So it really should be a very easy process for you guys to do that way. It may be even a least expensive process as well.
Hell yeah.
So don't tell Davis where I said that, but
this is between you and I, my friend.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Perfect. So again, guys, any questions? You guys got some great questions here. But anything else on the book before we kind of jump in the web portal and look at that customization stuff?
No, let's check that portal out.
Awesome. So let's do that here. Give me just a second. I'm going to have to get logged back in. There's a 10-minute timeout, which is really good for your security, really bad for me doing demos. So give me just a second. But I don't even charge you for the administrative tour here either. So.
Well, we appreciate that.
Perfect. So this is the web portal. This is what you guys are going to see when you come back to manage your price book and manage that kind of stuff here. First thing I'm going to show you is work orders. Again, I'm not sure if you guys are going to see this. I think this is going to be migrated inside of Davis Ware, but I think it's pretty slick. I'd like to show you as well. Everything we just did on the tablet here, this is, of course, a cloud-based, web-based system. So this is happening in real time. We can see the stop. We just made it Eli's on the 3rd right here. The work order, the date, the customer, the address, what tech went. You'll see here the 3 dots. This is meant to show how many options were offered. If we offered 5 options, we'd see 5 dots. If we offered no options, we see no dots. So at the end of the day, you can look and have a really good overview of, are your techs doing what they're supposed to be doing in the field, or not. We can look here. The 2 times they didn't offer options, it was 108 and 288. Probably something simple, wasn't worth their time to do it. If we come in here and just click on any of these options, number 2, even though we didn't take it, we can see what was offered for option number 2. The green option is obviously the option they've taken. So again, just meant so you guys don't have to run reports and do that stuff. You can kind of visually see it at the end of the day. Here's where the total is. And then again, same as the options, if they paid, it's going to be in a huge blue box. You can look at this in 2 seconds and see who paid and who didn't today. And that's the whole point again, trying to really make it easy for you guys to see, to handle, to manage. If we come in here and go to the work order PDF, this is where we can open this up now. And we will see these just as we saw them in the field. Here is the exact version of the invoice we saw, signatures, everything carried right over for you guys. So again, this is happening in real time. You can have a guy presenting options in someone's living room, and you guys can be looking at them in the office at the same time. So really cool stuff. And then to kind of go back to one of your questions, We can go here with the filter and really kind of get granular on the information. This is where we can come in and start doing searches by the tech, see what tech did what, how many hours, how many jobs, how much money is brought in, and kind of figure that stuff out for you guys. So this is where we can do that. Also, just to hit back on that tech question you guys asked about paying them, we can come in here. This is where we can pull any reports from the price book. So this is where we can come in and pull a report and say that Tech A, had 55 hours worth of invoices this week that he did, and then you guys can go ahead and whatever you're going to pay aside from there. Other thing I want to show you here is if we click on the customer's name, we'll jump in and of course we'll see a complete history, additional addresses if they rentals have multiple addresses, internal notes. This is where we can see any internal notes that they've been made in the office or in the field. Eli has a dog that bites. His house smells. He's mean. He's nasty. Whatever you guys want to put, we can put it all here. And then invoices will give us a comprehensive history of every time we've gone and seen this customer. So we can see their options. We can see if they owe us money. We can see if they pay. We can see he buys the most expensive stuff most of the time. So maybe we're going to offer him a really good expensive option this time. So again, just kind of a way you can square away and just make it easy to handle for you guys.
And this stuff will be available even if we don't have your dispatching program, correct?
Correct. Yes, sir. So basically what's going to happen is you're going to have this information in two spots. This is going to pull it in from your invoice here, plus you're actually going to send the physical invoice to get paid through Davisware if you take that integration. So it'll be in their system as well. So really it's kind of duplicated, but I think the way we have it here is going to help you out, especially if he calls back from a job 2 weeks ago and said, guy left options, I want number 2. All you have to do is click on number 2, see what it is, pull the parts, send the guy. Cool. All right. Let's run back to the top here and business information. This is where all your pricing information is coming from. You can see here we're doing $250 an hour. This is what's going to come off that 90 minutes we saw on the blower motor. And then your parts are all marked up according to the parts chart. This is a standard chart. I'm sure you guys are probably familiar with it. Low cost stuff marked up extremely high. As the cost is coming up, the markup percentage is coming down. Obviously, you guys can come in here and make changes to anything you want. You can add matrix, you can take them away, you can do a markup percentage, you can do profit percentage. Again, sky's the limit, whatever you guys want. Really cool, this industry default button will reset this chart back to the way we're looking at it every time. So if you guys want to mess with your parts prices and it doesn't go the way you wanted it to, we can hit that button and really go ahead and kind of restart that stuff for you guys right away there. Another big thing when we're in business information here, you see we're in the drain cleaning book, and since you guys do all the trades, this is really big for you. We can go to heating, charge 180. We can go to the AC, charge 240. We can go to installs, charge 140, et cetera, et cetera. All these books operate independent from each other. So you can do 9 bill out rates, 9 service agreement rates, 9 parts markups. It's all going to be different. When it pushes out to the tablet, it's going to look exactly the same for you guys. And then lastly, as far as just changing bill out rate, all you have to do is 140. We want to go to 180 on our electric. Calculate the business info. That quick, it changed everything in the electric book. And you guys will have a sync button just like Service Titan has here. Hit OK. OK. And that's going to send that new information to the tablets. So next time you guys pull that up, it'll charge the new prices, show the new pictures, whatever it is you guys have made the price change.
So, Joe, the manufacturers, on the equipment side, if they raise their price and say it's a 3% increase, where would we be able to do that in this?
Great question. So, and I already have the perfect solution for you. All we have to do is go into parts here, and I don't have any manufacturers in, but we also built this for things like copper, refrigerant, copper fittings and pipe. Went up 4% last month. Update it. It's going to update every single piece of copper in this book, whether it's 10 feet of pipe, a quarter-inch fitting, whatever it is. Update it by 4%, price it according to whatever that chart says. Same thing with your equipment. Carrier goes up 3%. We can update every piece of carrier equipment in one keystroke as opposed to going into 70 different tasks and updating that stuff.
Yeah, and taking 4 days to do.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it'll probably be wrong by the time you're finished with it anyway, right? Especially with or refrigerant. You spend a week and it's wrong by the time you're done. So, but again, with coppers, R22s, refrigerants, and then the same thing with new equipment or, even your faucets. Everything goes up, especially with tariffs and everything going weird now. We can move your whole Delta faucet lineup. We can move your whole Carrier air conditioner, all in basically one keystroke here. So really just quality of life stuff, but whoever's going to manage this book in the back this is going to be their favorite button, I promise you that. Good stuff. Did I get everything here? Sorry, now I'm talking to myself, guys. I apologize. Sales tax. I don't think you need a sales tax lesson. Uncle Sam is giving you that for far too long. So yeah, we hit everything here. Oh, the other thing we didn't hit is how we're doing the markups or discounts. This number here will always be your service agreement rate or your lowest possible rate. If they don't have a service agreement, we're actually turning it up 15%, as you can see here. And we do support a third rate. Most people reserve it for nights, weekends, emergency stuff. And we're marking that 25% above the 250. So we're always going to make the value rate, the rate we're never going to charge below. And if they don't have that service agreement, we're actually going to turn those rates up for the customer. Any questions on that page, guys?
How do our current customers that are on maintenance programs transfer over to this program? Is that something that you guys do upon takeover, or how does that work? So that way we have the technicians know in the field whether they have a maintenance agreement or not.
Great question. Right now, currently, we're just kind of putting an asterisk or something in the name so they can find it. We are putting that in with this new build that we have with the dispatch. So it's going to show up. I believe it's just going to highlight the name in red or a different color if they have a service agreement. So the answer to your question is no. Right now, it's something that's going to be up, very shortly for you guys. Another big ask.
What'd you call me?
You heard me, right?
Big battle. Boom.
So good stuff. So move on a little bit here. Manage book. This is one. This is just where we're going to control how the book looks when these guys open it. We change this drop down. If you want plumbing number 1, we make plumbing number 1. It's going to show up top left. If you guys don't want to do electrical, we can turn the electrical book off. It never shows up. So you guys control how it sees, how the techs see everything out there. We can come in the heating book. If you guys aren't doing oil, you're not doing gas, we can turn this stuff off. You can turn off the subcategories. You can even go to the task level and turn everything on and off granularly. So you do have 100% control what they see, how they see it. It just depends how deep you guys want to dive in. And I say that because we have about a little over 4,400 tasks here across the book. So keep that in mind as you're going through.
Is this based upon department? So like if we only want our electricians to be able to see the electrician stuff, or our plumbing department to only see the plumbing department stuff, we can do it based on what tech has that tablet, correct?
No. Right now, currently, it is going to be one view for all the techs. Some of the bigger Service Titan Field Edge will let you put those guys in buckets and do that. That's not a capability we have at this moment. So whatever view you have, your plumbers, your electricians, your HVAC guys are going to see it. Perfect. All right. So next here is tasks, guys. Again, 4,400 tasks in the book. If we just jump in here, this is how we can really manage any of this stuff. This is that blower motor we looked at. This is where we can change the description, secondary description, customer description. This is where we have that 90 minutes we looked at, and we talked about making an add-on. If we ever made this an add-on, if we had something else that was a higher priority, a higher P, this is only going to charge 75 minutes as opposed to 90. So that's where that discount is going to come about, and this is where we can go in, we can make a bigger discount, we can make it a smaller discount by kind of changing the time here. So this is where you guys can hold those add-on times. And then at the bottom is going to be where we can go ahead and see all the parts on this job. Again, beauty of flat rate, we didn't just sell a blower motor. We sold a blower motor repair task, which included a belt and capacitor. Also, guys, you will see this miscellaneous on almost every job. This is simply nuts, bolts, screws, washers, small one-off stuff. Instead of putting all that in and causing an enormous amount of clutter here, we just put it in as miscellaneous. You can see 5 parts at 60 cents. We don't want the clutter, but we're marking this stuff up 300-400%. We surely want the markup in the book. So again, you guys will see this miscellaneous in a lot of places here. Next thing here is calculations. And I personally think this is one of the coolest things back here. This is going to go off your part sheet and your business information page and tell us what the parts cost us, what we sold them back to the customer for, what the labor cost us, what we charge us back to the customer for, and depending on which one of those three rates, it's going to tell us what we made in dollars or in profit percentage. Really cool, just so you guys know where you're at when you go out to do a job. Also, if you want to play with your bill out rate, your parts markups, you can come back into these charts and see what it's doing to your profit dollars and percentages, and kind of use this to help you hone in, to get really where you want to be. And then down at the bottom, you're going to see add-on total. This is just going to tell us if we swap this and make it an add-on, charge us 75 as opposed to the 90. It's going to tell us how much money we're going to make here, just to make sure when we're giving those discounts, we're still staying profitable on those items. Next one is categories. This is not that fun at all. Simply going to show us where we find it in the book. It's under heating, forced hot air, blower wheels, and motors. We can assign it to another category. We can duplicate it, put it in two places, whatever you guys want to do there. Marketing is where we're going to do the upsells and cross-sells. This is where we saw the pull and clean, pull and clean pop up when we added it to the invoice. Also at the bottom, upsell is where we saw the thermostats. We also looked at these with the faucets. With a generic blower motor, there isn't a ton to upsell them to here. But if you guys want to add stuff, all you got to do is go to the task list, just hit the button, and next time this backflow is going to show up for you guys. So really easy to adjust that stuff. And then next one here is going to be images, and this is the fun part. All the images are here. Drop down will change the order they come up. We can download these from any library. Manufacturers will send those to you. But why do we do that? Because we're connected right with Google. So all you have to do is put in any word, part numbers, stock numbers, all work. Google's going to search the images. You grab the one you like, and you simply crop it and put it right inside your price book. Only takes a second usually. And put a quick crop on them. And there you go. Next time this Rhino is going to be in the price book, and we actually found one I forgot to delete earlier today. So real easy to get that stuff in. Same thing with your new equipment. All we got to do is put in carrier model A1, pull a picture of that furnace, whatever it is, put it right in here, go to the next one. So really simple for you guys to do that stuff. Also, if you want to mess with your guys on April Fool's Day, you can have a ton of fun with that here as well.
I like that.
So Joe, on the add-on stuff, so if my guys are, if we're pulling a blower motor and blower wheel, and they tried to say like the upsell item would be to go ahead and clean the indoor coil since it's already out, that'll pop up with an add-on task and be able to show the homeowner the difference between if we were out there to clean the coil and we had to move everything, they would be able to see that discount. Am I hearing you on that right?
Exactly correct. And let's just take a quick look at it here. One better thing to take my word for it is taking a look at it. So exactly correct. Let's just jump in this motor here. This is actually the one we're in the task here.
Okay.
When we add this guy to the work order right here, it's going to pop up this recommended service. Here's the pull and clean for that. And then this toggle is where we're going to show them the difference. If we come to do it alone, it's $225. Since I'm here today, I'll only charge you $135. So that little toggle is where you can do it.
Now, that's only the blower assembly. That's not the actual coil. So
Can we add
can
the
we
add-ons?
add a coil clean in there and then have different access, hard access, easy access, or middle access?
Absolutely. All we do is go here. This is where this is what's prompting the pull and clean to come up. So all we have to do is put your coil clean here, add it, sync the tablet, and then the coil clean will come up, right behind it here. So whatever we sync and add will all follow up down here. So you guys have full control what comes up there. I just happen to have the pull and clean in there, but all you got to do is
And
come
when we,
add it, and then it'll show up and it'll operate just like that pull and clean.
All right. Okay.
hell yeah, and then it'll give you the on-site or return visit pricing, right? All the
Exactly.
add-ons that we put in. Hell yeah, right on.
It'll all be on this tab. So no matter what we have here, they're all going to move from task to add-on when we hit that button. So
Yeah.
again, the customer seeing $90 fall off that, even I buy that.
Right.
I like to think I'm pretty wise to all these upsells and cross sells by now, but even I'd buy that.
Very cool, man.
So
Trying to think what else? I guess moving forward, right?
So when this is sent in, I'm sorry with all the questions.
no.
I've worked with like I said, the service type program, and then we also had Successware at another company I was at too. So with this, does it populate when you send the proposal to the homeowner, the pictures and the descriptions, so that way the homeowner can actually see like what a contactor does or what a capacitor does? is there kind of a layman's terms on those parts?
Yes, and you can see here, and you can't see here because I don't have the tablet up. This is the invoice or the quote screen that the customer will see. And yes, for each thing in the option here, it's going to show the picture, and then it's going to show all 3 lines that we have on the tablet here. Your tech description, your secondary description, and then the last one here that's not bold is the customer description. So whatever you guys have in the customer description on the tablet will also print on the quote as well as the invoice. Good stuff. Any more questions there, guys?
I don't think so.
All right, let's move on. Parts, we already did. Parts are parts. I showed you the update cost by product line. Just so you know, guys, this is on a national average. In that success program, part of that is honing this list in. 99.9% of the time, I can move this whole list up a few percent, down a few percent, works perfectly for you guys. We can import new lists if we need to. Not the most advantageous way to go about it, but just so you're aware how the parts pricing is going to work. Also, something really neat we do, if you'll notice, everything has a Rhino part number and a manufacturer's part number. We do this for a very obvious reason, and I'm sure you guys know. You go into somebody's house, you go to put a thermostat in, you tell them $85. First thing he does is grab his phone, go to Amazon, and say it's $39.99 on Amazon. Why do you want $85? Well, you know what? We're going to give it a Rhino part number. So if he wants to go on Amazon and do it, he's going to have to go through every single thermostat and read every single description, and we're going to have the thermostat done by the time he finishes. So just so you guys are aware, you can search parts by the Rhino number or by the manufacturer's part number, but we are not showing customers manufacturer's part number simply for the fact that in this day and age, that is one of the biggest problems in the industry now is people's access to that information so quickly. So, you know, we're not going to tell them they can't do it, but we're going to make them work for it if they're going to do it.
Very cool.
So cool stuff. And then option boards. This is where those pre-built option boards are held. Again, guys, we have 132 pre-built for you guys. You can come in here and just kind of, massage the ones we have here. Make them exactly what you guys want if you think we're close but not close enough. You can also go to create a new board, and you guys can build these option boards from the office. You can sit at your desk at home at night and build the option boards that the techs in the field are going to sell. So you can make sure.
So we could put a monthly program together, a monthly special like oil cleans and, IAQ and tune-up, build that for this month only type deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can come in here, and then after you build them, you can just turn them on and off. So, we want to do this one for a month, turn it off for a month. We can set it up and absolutely do that. So this is how you guys are controlling what boards they can pull in the field. If we go to tech option list, if you guys remember, we actually had the option on the tablet to build an extremely specific custom option right there in the field for that job. This is going to show you anytime they've shown an option or built an option that did not come off of this team board page. So it's going to say, Bill did these, Matt did these, Jim did these, etc. 2 reasons again. 1, we want to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing out there. And number 2, sometimes you just get somebody who's really good at this. They take it very seriously. They're really good at it. You can come in here, see those great option boards that are selling tons of stuff, and then share it with every other tablet on the system. Let everybody present those same option boards. Hopefully everybody has that same result. So really cool here. This is where you guys can just kind of check and keep tabs on stuff. And then lastly, option mass list is where we can go ahead and call these whatever we want. I called mine good, better, best. I'm kind of a fan of the critical, recommended, like new. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4. We can actually do between 2 and 6 options. A lot of people like the gold, silver, platinum, diamond kind of thing here. Again, whatever gimmick you guys want, we can call these options. So whatever you guys think of, we can do it here, which is really cool. Again, a lot of people like to do geographical stuff or stuff around town that makes it sound local and cool. So you guys can really mask those whatever you guys want. And then lastly, guys, I have for you here, import, export. I like to call it the hamburger because I have no idea what that picture is supposed to be. But this is the no fun page. This is where after the day is done, you're going to come in and have no fun and do all your reporting and all that stuff. So we can pull the stuff by trade. We can do it by parts, by tasks. This is where we can import a parts list. We can import a task list. If you guys have tasks already that we don't have in the book, just because you're doing specialty stuff or geographically, everything is done in Excel here. So all we have to do is have that in an Excel sheet, import it in here, put some marketing, put a picture on it, and we can have your current stuff live inside of Profit Rhino as well. And then also
Okay,
this,
so
yeah.
What about matching up inventory, van inventory, to the product that's being used in the home, so that way we can track inventory here in the office by running the reports, Wednesdays and Saturdays, so that way maybe we start ordering the parts inventory-wise for the technicians based upon what they're using out of the van. Is there a way that can be tracked in this system?
Yes and no. We can go ahead and we can actually pull a report of the parts that have been used or put on the invoice for the last 3 days. It is not going to go as detailed as saying that this came off this guy's van, this came off this guy's van, etc. It's just going to say we use 3 blower motors, 8 contactors, 12 capacitors, 10 belts, whatever it is. It's not going to tell us where we got to put them back. It's just going to tell them that we used them. Once you get into some of the other systems, I don't know about DavisWare. That's a great question for your rep over there. But I know ServiceTitan, Field Edge, they read our parts numbers and they will do inventorying through our parts numbers. Just not something we have built into the system right now. So again, you can run a report that says what you've used, but we're not going to know again that it came off van 1, van 2, van 3. We're just going to have to, get a little more granular and figure out what trucks need to be stocked back with what.
Ari Michael will keep track of inventory, but we'll have to learn how to come up with our own system as far as tracking it. Because Wintac does it too, but Ari Michael.
Scanner?
Yeah, they're gonna have. Well, Wintac has a scanner. We might be able to get set up with Ari Michael to give us barcodes, but that'll be.
So DavisWare helping out.
DavisWare bought out Wintac, and now they're pushing their Service Sync, which is their version of Wintac.
Okay.
We're on Wintac though, and we're waiting for DavisWare to become integratable with DispatchMe. That's our primary goal is to see if those two integrate. If not, regardless, like Profferano would need a price book. We need, and if they work with DispatchMe because it's open API, then that'll work for dispatch for a price book. And then Ari Michael can help integrate for inventory, depending, if they want to work with DispatchMe to integrate their app along with, because they're web-based now too. So, but that's all. But this right here is something that I wanted to look into because it's the Pricebook app, and you can collect signatures. It has a picture book. It's the add-on. That was my biggest goal, is to get a Pricebook, because I feel like that's our biggest tool that we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, sorry, Joe.
No worries, guys. It's been a long day. I didn't get a break, so I appreciate it.
I like to hear myself talk.
Trust me, you get used to it. That's all I do. 8 hours a day, every day, listen to myself talk. But okay, guys, that's what I have to show you here. Just pause. Any questions? Anything you guys want to jump back and take another look at here?
No, just
Very thorough.
with the pricing on this, are we moving into that next, or because I remember it being pretty manageable.
if you just want to throw some money at me, we don't have to move into the pricing next.
Hell yeah.
I'll give you my PayPal account. You just send over whatever you got. It'll be fine. So, yeah, no, absolutely. What we're going to hit on here as far as the pricing, you're looking at $55 a user. Now, we only consider a user a tech in the field with a tablet. We don't charge your office staff, your support staff. We look at it this way. The images, upsells, cross-sells, option boards are going to make you more money. Those are the people we're going to charge. So, again, example, you're running 4 techs, you're looking at $220 a month. No charge for the office staff. We do have the one-time charge here of $12.99, which we do for the onboarding, that process of customizing and building the book for you guys. And the reason we do that is because we don't do contracts. We really feel like we provide a good service at a very reasonable price for you guys, especially, you guys see the value in it. $55 a month, you're going to recover that per tablet pretty easily if you guys are doing stuff the way they're supposed to be doing in the field. So we don't do contracts. That being said, we built a few too many free price books in our day, so we have to do that up front with $12.99 to get you guys going. If you're a member with any of those groups underneath, I can actually take $200 off that and bring it down to $10.99 for you guys.
Now the success training, is that the where you're helping us set everything up?
Correct.
Or is that training? Okay. And so that's not like per user, it's just $55 a month per user, and then the $12.99 to set us all up.
To set you all up, exactly. The goal
Okay.
is after that success program, the $12.99, when we push you out of the nest, I like to say, is you guys have a full custom cool blue price book that all you have to do is maintain or kind of perpetuate going forward. You know, as copper goes up, as this goes up, you know, we'll teach you guys how to do that. That being said, if you run into problems, we're always here. We're not going to leave you there. You know, we're a business. We want you guys happy, so you keep paying
Is
us
there
every month.
is there like a tech support or like we have with WinTech, we pay them $250 for like 5 years of support. Is there a support plan that you guys might have, or is it just as needed or?
As needed. And what'll happen with that success program, really cool, you actually do every meeting with the same person. So one person has actually built this book with you. They kind of know what's going on. So when you have a customer service problem question, you have this person's direct email, their direct phone number, and they know something about your book. You don't have to explain your book every single time. So as long as you guys are paying the bills, you can have as much customer service, you know, as you guys would like.
So it's not a per incident that we have to pay.
It is not, absolutely not. As long as you guys are paying, you know, whatever your monthly is, you can have unlimited syncs, unlimited changes, unlimited customer support calls. You know, our goal of that success program is kind of teach a man to fish or give a man a fish kind of thing. You know, we want to teach you guys to be able to upgrade your parts and do that stuff. Because frankly, you don't want to call us every time you want a part changed, and we have 1,000 customers. We don't want that either. So,
Do you guys have training videos online on your website, or?
we do have training videos that we can send you guys as well.
Yeah.
You know, to articles and stuff to get you up to speed. But again, if you guys ever have a problem, you have someone you can call direct. I'll always be your second in command. If he's on vacation or sick or with a customer, I can either help you, or if I'm not smart enough, I can get you to someone who definitely is.
So what's your turnover rate like?
We're about 8.5 to 9%.
Say that again?
About 8.5 to 9% is a rate, you know, which I don't think is too bad. It's, you guys are in service, you know, you can't make everybody happy no matter what you do.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
No, we've stuck it out for like 5 years with WinTech, just waiting for them to get up to speed. And it's been, you know, in this last year when they got acquired, you know, just before that and after, they started moving forward, you know, progressively, finally. So no, you know, we're loyal. So no, we'll jump through some hoops, but no, if this, you know, goes off like I think it will, then I think we'll be pretty successful and pretty satisfied.
And as far as the price book goes, I mean, I'm a salesman, so take it for what it's worth. But if you guys use the book as intended, the upsells, the cross sells, the options, you will make more money. It's just a fact that, you know, you'll sell more belts, you'll sell nicer equipment, that kind of stuff. I always suggest 4 options, do free repair options, then always throw a new furnace on top, right? Why not shoot a shot? So
no, it's such a huge tool. So you know that we're missing. We have a decent one, but you know this is something that's company wide. Everybody's on the same page, literally, and no, just a great tool to have.
Awesome. Those are words I like to hear.
No, so is there any way? I don't know if. Because 2 of our guys weren't able to be here today to look at this. Is this a recorded or recordable version or something that we're able to save and email to us? Or
yes.
Okay.
I recorded it. It's too big to email, but I do have a private YouTube page I can upload it to and send you guys a link.
Perfect. That would be perfect. And that can show Tim and Sean, and we can get moving forward on this.
All right. Perfect. Well, let's do that. Guys, I apologize to rush off here. I do have another appointment I'm going to have to jump on here shortly, but just want to quickly recap. Any questions, anything else you guys want to see? If not, I will send over. Oh, you're very welcome. I'm going to send over that link. Give me a little bit to get the video downloaded or uploaded and done here. I have another demo to jump on, but I'll also send over a copy of these slides, the pricing slide, the training slide, so you guys have that stuff for your records. And if I haven't heard from you in a week or so, I'll just give a call back and check in and see where you guys are at.
Perfect. Joseph, I appreciate you, sir, and good luck on the next one.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day out there.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.